So, I want to talk today about something that we all deal with. I know I've definitely dealt with it for the majority of my life. I think we all deal with this over our lifetime, and that is the spirit of fear, being afraid. And I think it's something that we learn as we get older, and we start learning it at a very, very early age. And if you think back, like when you were born, or if you ever watch a baby, usually the only thing a baby may be afraid of is being around loud noises. They'll seem startled, but a baby doesn't know to be afraid when they're born of things like spiders, roller coasters, snakes, um, being rejected by somebody. A baby doesn't know those things. These are things that are learned over time. And I know I've spent a majority of my life living in fear of something. So fears are there too. They're not necessarily all bad. Certain fear is there because it serves to protect us from things that could bring harm. But oftentimes we let fear control our decisions, we let fear control our daily actions, and those fears, I do believe, if we allow them to control us, will keep us from the potential that God has for us. This morning I was reading, or when I opened the Bible app, this verse popped up this morning, and it's 2 Timothy 1:7. It says, "For God gave us a spirit, not of fear, but of power." That's a pretty strong word. And love, another very strong word. And self-control, another very strong word. Would you rather identify with fear, or would you rather identify with power, love, and self-control? And when I think about those things, how do I overcome fear? How do I more identify with those three attributes? And it really, I believe, comes from living in the presence of God, allowing His Holy Spirit to consume me, to control me. And when those things happen, I naturally start overcoming fears because I'm not focused on fear. I'm focused on living in the presence of God. If I'm living in the presence of the creator of the universe, is there a whole lot to be afraid of? So I just think we need to spend more time each day living in that presence, figuring out how we can stay in the presence of God with our mindset throughout the day. Because as we live there, we deal with power because we're connected with the creator of the universe. We deal with love because God is love, and we learn to have self-control. Um, so whatever you're dealing with right now, whatever type of fear, again, I will probably always respect snakes and spiders, but not making phone calls when I should be making phone calls. Those are things that I'm not living in the right spirit. Live in the presence of God. When you live in His presence, you can be used in a mighty way that's going to bring success for sure. Hope you have a great rest of the day. Talk to you later, and thank you for listening. Bye bye.